fortunately covered.
So you're associated with God even.
Yeah, both. He graduated from our department.
Who remembers it? I don't remember that.
Students definitely totally dropped it.
They were like little babies back then. Foster Dye is from Auburn University. He worked together with Dick Yeager, who was retired. He's a quite famous professor. Yeah, you're very I didn't print a bio, but you're very active in the CICC community. Do a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, now you're going to talk about HD converters. Yeah, you're doing
It's
it.
not for general audience, we don't have to spend time here. But as you can see, the publication so far, SAR ADC has dominated the ADC publications in past decade or so, 10 years at least. Most of them plays an important role to determine the thermal noise level for any type of ADC. Any type of ADC, you need a sample code. Okay. So now let's look at how TD/C noise will limit the ADC designs. Another thing we have to consider is the quantum delay line, and then when the pulse propagate through the delay line, the second lag pulse come in as a clock, trigger the flip-flop, and we will read how many stages in the test. However, you can see the resolution of this delay line is very beautiful. First, you can get a very fine resolution. Even the individual delay lines delay is large. Okay. Secondly, because the resolution is proportional to the difference of the two delays, the first order PVT or mismatch variations can be cancelled. Okay. So that's the beauty of a Vernier delay line. However, Vernier delay line, because it has a very fine resolution, if you want to have a large detectable range simultaneously, you have to use more delay stages. So if you want to correctly convert this small level of voltage, time domain is aligned with voltage domain. Put in this way, the residual voltage, full scale residual voltage you transfer to time domain has to be equal to exactly the full scale time domain scale. Otherwise, the two measurements will end up with different answer. You cannot simply add them without the same. Okay. In the second stage, we use TDC. However, this time we use a ring TDC. I explain you why we use a ring TDC, like what we explained for the TDC designs. So we use two ring TDC passes to do fine quantization. We explain you one by one what is the procedure. We switch off the switch between the first stage and the second stage, and the charge is stored on the substrate deck represent the residual voltage. Okay, so substrate deck automatically observe the residue on the ring before cross detector is triggered. I don't need to turn on arbiter. Arbiter only will be used for last leg. So in this design, we use cross detector signal to turn on the arbiter. Arbiter are totally off, not like a flash TDC before we start the design. Okay. And also, one of the subtle things I want to mention is the cross detector design. Cross detector has to be very good with the bandwidth selection, because when the bandwidth of the cross detector conversion, vice versa. Okay. So here's a measure the data, as you can see, DNL.
It's really nice. Thank you for the talk, by the way. It's a really nice picture of this ring with the delay cells, and I guess then
because I would think if it's like a 13-bit ADC or 12-bit ADC, the size of the CDAC would still need to be KTOC limited to 13 bits, right? So in that regard, it doesn't really change.
Yes. Yes, as far as the CDAC says, you are exactly right. Even if I copy into a different buffer, you can easily guess with less than 1 milliwatt, there are no buffer, because the buffer itself will burn a lot of power for linearity requirement. Okay. So, yes, so the CDAC copying into Python.
Sample rate needs to be also quite accurately matched to that, right? To get this nice behavior, and if you like, I don't know, run it
Because you are dropping your voltage down in steps,
So it just depends on what the initial voltage was, what the difference is at your cross detector, and I guess that is what determines the delay of your cross detector. Right?
The cross detector, you have a fixed reference, fixed
These
reference.
steps. So
But the comparison always happen at the fixed reference.
yeah, with the fixed reference, but your voltage itself is going
The
down. Right?
voltage itself is going down. When it going below or valid reference, the cross detection triggers. So it's always at the same comparison voltage. The bias condition of the comparator of the cross detector is the same for regardless of the residual voltage.
That is because your low pass filter, your
Because we bring this residual voltage down to the cross point. The cross point is fixed.
Yeah, just the last one matters. The last is.
The cross detector always watching. Yes, indeed, they're always watching the voltage drop. But when it's still higher than the reference, it does not take action. It just differential pair, just watch. Only when you go below the reference, it triggers. Yes.
yeah. So when the step is going down and it's just below your reference voltage, then your
Yeah.
comparator will be relatively slow.
Yes.
So then that delay will be higher than when it
Oh, you
goes
mean
just
that
above.
small amount of difference?
Yeah,
When
I-
you cross the, okay, that small amount of, I don't think that will matter too much because your differential pair, think about it, has pretty much a good margin as far as the signal level. With one step of voltage drop, that's very tiny. The difference wouldn't. Yes.
High resolution.
Yes.
But how does the noise of this crossing detector compare to the comparator noise requirement?
Well, if you had to do everything in voltage domain, your yes.
Does it have to do with the time domain in some way, or is it just also the speed improvement? Because if you do it with SA, you have to do multiple cycles still to finish. And now, in a way, you, by making this ramp, you, kind of quickly, resolve several bits. So, is the benefit that you get,
That's
in
good
essence,
question.
not simply a time benefit?
Put it this way, so I have been thinking about the same question for a long time. There is no good paper, by the way, if you guys want to work, and I'm very interested, is to try to compare the noise requirement and time domain jitter requirement, see which one end up with better form. We can do that with analysis. That would be a quite interesting paper. In general, give a guidance if we should go to time domain. No? I feel the most advantage is in photo. Okay, in voltage domain, yes, we have to do pipeline the whole way because otherwise we cannot reach high speed. We cut into pieces. In voltage domain, in order to relax the following stages, the comparator noise requirement, you have to put fixed amount of gain for interstage amplifier. You have to use active amplifier for interstage.
Probably, and then maybe in the end, the time
How do we-
resolution that you can make,
Okay.
and that translates to a certain amount of bits and then voltage range, I guess.
Okay,
eh?
so here is the following I ask my student to try before starting the design. Is we take a delay stage and ask him to scale WL, scale whatever device size, figure out the best form for this delay. Whatever delay you end up, I want the very best.
Size on voltage noise.
Exactly.
If you do it steep, you're
Exactly.
easy on voltage noise, but you're very strict on time.
Exactly.
That could be a sweet spot.
I can easily, yes, slope is my gain and there is no cost because there is no power.
Yeah. So then it just becomes, it will burn more power.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
but also the noise will.
That's the initial analysis I mentioned to determine the delay.
So that A to D converter.
Very accurate.
Yeah, because you
Very
just
accurate.
charge capacitor with the fixed
That's right,
current and
that's
then
right.
discharge it with the current depending on
Uh-huh.
what you want to measure, and you just, it was slow, but it worked fine.
It's still used
And
in many instruments.
It's very similar to this, it's also discharging capacitor
Exactly.
to measure when that
Exactly.
happens.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Saro also first was considered too slow. Maybe dual slow
Yeah.
will also return
Yeah,
so
because
much
it's so
faster
simple,
now. Or it's in a slightly different version.
Yeah.
We can talk more and see create another paper. Yes, because You are right, Brian. So this should be dynamic because
Yeah, why not?
when you are far away from the zero crossing, you just quickly drop. It's just like face lock loop. You don't care. Then at that time, you care.
And then slow again.
Yeah, maybe go fast, slow, and then. But I think
Like a PLL, you want to go slowly through the zero
Exactly,
crossing,
just like a PLO,
Yeah.
PLO resolution. You need a resolution only when loop is close to lock.
Yeah,
We want a multi-slope with a continuously adjustable slope technique.
yeah, but
But
you,
isn't it
you
asking
don't
for
need fixed.
problems
But
because
I
you have
think
to
the
dynamically match
goal
then
is find the architecture with minimum
skills.
power.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, minimum power.
That's
Yeah,
all,
but
yeah.
everywhere the time scale and the voltage scale should match in some
Still
way.
put on new things here.
I think so. If you guys like.
Or do you
it,
want a very
we can collaborate.
linear coding or
Think
something? I
about
don't think so.
Yeah.
A very
Fab
linear
allow is
coding.
easy, yeah.
It's easy.
It's easy, we can try to speak out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can try.
Yeah, sorry, Foster, I also had another appointment. I
Okay.
would like to leave.
Okay, sure, let's, keep in touch and we can talk more if you like.
Yes.
Let them finish.
Okay, yeah, Eric.
Erkeli can leave, yeah.
You see how you implemented it with the ring oscillator, it's called like this. Basically generates the timestamp accuracy all the time, right? In every cycle it generates the verified accuracy that you want to achieve. Are there better solutions to implement this? Sorry, 8-stage ring oscillator that you have to run every cycle.
The ring, the delay stage is all digital circuit, right? So only cost power during transition. Only when post propagate you cost power.
Thank you for dropping by.